So you want to build some habits. Maybe start a morning routine, get in some exercises, build those biceps, even though I don't have one. Start eating healthy.
Mom! Lunch!
Cheers. At least chop it into pieces. Whatever it may be, but those are superficial habits to work on. To implement any single habit, you have to ignite the inner flame within you. This book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, will take you to your core principles and values and teach you how to be effective. Welcome to a video that is 2 months late. With a special request. Perfect. So this book is at the pinnacle of productivity book mountains, if you will. It focuses on character ethic rather than the personality one, how you appear on the outside, your social image, how is your public interactions, and how you behave as per others or on social basis on the outside. That's personality ethic. Whereas the author says character is something that grows from within. It has its roots deep below within us, and the product which arises is our personality. This book has an inside-out approach, meaning true growth can only come from within. Things like values, ethics, morals, and core principles shapes the pillars of our basic character on which stands our personality. Personality ethic has its place and it differs from time to time, but it grows from the roots of character ethic. Fake personalities will sooner or later come out as manipulatory or will be proved untrustable. But character ethic, it cannot be faked. This time and age, we are more focused on the superficial stuff, on our appearances, how to impress other people, the social media comparison. It's easy to get into those stuff, shortcuts, quick fixes. But the author here says to focus your efforts on the foundation of your character ethic. It will promise you success and more happiness in life. Imagine an iceberg. The tip of the iceberg is the appearance, our social image. That's what shows. Beneath what the iceberg stands on is the foundation of who we are. Build that on your character. There are no shortcuts, there are no quick fixes. The stronger the foundation, the better the appearance. Now let's jump into habit 1, which is being proactive. Now for this video, and especially this part, I have taken massive inspiration from a YouTube video, this one, which is worth mentioning. Habit 1 is being proactive. Let me draw a circle here, which we will call this the circle of concern. The circle of concern consists of things that you cannot control, like what people think of you, what are others' opinions, weather, politics, economy, others' mistakes. Now if I draw another circle here, this we can call circle of influence. This circle consists of all the things you can control, like your attitude, your skills, your education, how you spend your time, your habits, your hobbies, and so on. With that said, there are 2 ways to live life. Either you can be reactive or you can be proactive. Reactive people complain about the things they cannot control. Reactive people let the outside circumstances and people and the stimulus control them. On top of that, they don't take action to do anything. On the other side, we have proactive people. This kind of people realizes that their decisions determine their life. Their inner circle, what they do, what they practice, what they preach determines their life, not the outer circle, not the outer circumstances. So proactive people does not complain about the things they cannot control. Rather what they do is they focus on things that can improve themselves. Now what is proactivity? Proactivity is more than merely taking the initiative. It means as human beings, we are responsible for our own actions. Take it like this. There is a stimulus which you don't have any control over. Eventually it will trigger a response, which might be good, might be bad, depending on the magnitude and the nature of the stimulus. Now what if I tell you, between that stimulus and your response, you have the freedom to choose? Look at the word responsibility. It is responsibility. The ability to choose your response in any given situation. Within that fraction of time, the freedom that you have, you can respond with your independent will, imagination, or self-awareness. Highly proactive people blames themselves for any good or bad happens in their life, unlike the reactive people which mindlessly react. Woo! Nailed it! A word about circle of influence. Think of it like a Super Saiyan, Dragon Ball Z reference. It's like the more you focus, the more energy you give in your influence, circle of influence, your characters, your principles, your basic pillars, the more power you will gain. The larger the circle will grow. You can attain the Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, and the goal could be the Ultra Instinct. Habit 2 is begin with the end in mind. To begin with the end in mind is to start with a clear understanding what your destination is. It's incredibly easy to get lost in the rat race or the sheep walk, the business of life, to work so hard and put so much efforts only to find out wherever you are right now isn't serving much happiness or peace once you wished for. So ask yourself, what do you want in life? Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? Who do you chase? That famous, breathtaking Matthew McConaughey Oscar speech. You see, that to him is his personal mission statement. The author encourages all of us to have our own personal mission statement. Money, fame, status, this desperation of attention, these are extrinsic motivators which only serve short-term pleasures. Your principles, your value in life, what passion that truly brings you happiness, that results in more security, way more happiness and satisfaction in your life. I will give you a personal example of what exactly it means to begin with the end in mind. Now, most of you here knows I was in the Philippines for a couple of years, and it's not news that I fell in love with that country. Now, one of the interesting things that happened that I developed there unknowingly was a fear. The fear of one day leaving this country, and that day was still 2.5 to 3 years away, but it still shook me to my core that one day I might. You see, that was the end in mind. The beautiful thing that it did to me, that it made me appreciate, it made me feel alive each day more. I'm not even exaggerating. It made me love all the laughters, the tears I shared with the people I love there, the places I've been. Every moment, every day I was present. I was appreciating the worth while I was there. You see, it made me love Philippines, my stay there, the memories of it, far more beautifully than I would have otherwise. So what habit 2 says is, you write your own script, nobody else. Habit 3 is put first things first. If habit 2 says you write your script, habit 3 says to execute it. Take a piece of paper, write down all of your tasks, your to-do list, and figure out what are your priorities. Effective management will help you put first things first, while leadership will decide what the first things are. Now let me ask you this. If you were to fault yourself in one of these 3 areas, which would it be? First, the inability to prioritize. Second, the inability or desire to organize around these priorities. Or third, the lack of discipline to execute around them. Now, if you're like me, the author says most people will say they lack the discipline, but that's not the problem. The basic problem is that those priorities are not deeply planted into our hearts and minds. Now, to tackle this, the author describes a brilliant idea of 4 quadrants of time management. Like this idea is so mind-blowing to me that it will take time, and I just decided to make a whole another video later on it. But just for the sake of this video, these quadrants are divided with urgency and importance. Basically, what you want to do is stay on the second quadrant, where the things are of less urgency and high importance. Sometimes you have to tackle the things which are high of urgency and high of importance, or sometimes high urgency and low importance. But proactive people will mostly try to avoid the 4th quadrant, which is of low urgency and low importance. Like those are the activities which we don't find fruitful, but we do it rather anyway. Like for example, right now, scrolling through social media for hours and hours. That's not gonna do you anything. And I'm guilty of that too. So the takeaway here is to focus your energy on what truly is important to you. Now if you tell me like, okay, skydiving is truly important to me right now, but I cannot do it, like it doesn't have to be massive things. It could be so simple as a chore, like listening to music, avoiding some news or interaction with people if you feel like so, and prioritizing and putting first you to take care of yourself is important. So if that includes building a morning routine, being organized, being punctual, and if that's important to you, that's basically you do it. Now this first 3 habits that we just covered, the author likes to call them private victories. These 3 habits helps you build your character and values and helps you practice self-mastery. They help you move from dependence to independence, and the next 3 habits that we are going to discuss will make you move from independence to interdependence. This is what the author likes to call the maturity continuum. Dependence is more like a mother to child or a boss to employee relationship. It's more like it's the attitude of you. You made me do this, you did this to me, you're responsible. It's the blame game. Independence is the attitude of I. It's I'm responsible for this, I did this, I take the blame. It's I game. Now some might think that independence is the peak, but the pinnacle of the mountain is interdependence. Interdependence is working with others, is building that strong relationship. It's the team mentality, it's the attitude of we. Hi, I have a quick announcement to make. This video is sponsored. I wish. This video is nearly a half hour long. So what I've done is break it down into 2 parts. Reason being, one, I've really worked hard on this video. This is already my 2nd attempt. So and I'm on it since 3 continuous days. So I really wanted desperately to be good. Second, I really thinking on for you guys who are re-watching till the end and stuff. I don't want you guys to be bored. I've reworked on my story, make the whole video 2nd time because as always I wasn't satisfied with the first one and I wanted it to be better. So next part, it's already ready, it's already filmed, it will be just uploading next week. Appreciate ya.